All right, guys, this is Craig with Single Length School, and welcome back. Today, we're covering day 2 of the PGA show. All right, so if you didn't catch yesterday's video, go down into the videos, check out day 1 of the PGA show. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications bell, and if you like what you have to hear, make sure you smash that like button. And also, I'm gonna pop up some links right here to my social media channels. Make sure you go check those out and give me a follow. So, day 2. Met with a couple more companies. I wasn't even sure I was gonna do a day 2 video, but I had the opportunity to jump into a couple more meetings, see a few more things, and I'm gonna call day 2 the good and the bad. And I'll explain why here in just a minute. But first, let's talk about the good. What I found, some of the companies I talked to, some of the events I sat in on, and I would say the number one biggest thing that a lot of my subscribers and followers want to know about is Cobra. So today I didn't get a chance to sit down with any direct reps from Cobra, but they did have their initial launch, some coverage, and they had their own little event for the Rad Speed driver and woods. And I talked a little bit about the driver and Rad Speed the Rad Speed driver and woods when they were first announced, but we got a little bit more information on them. And unfortunately, because of the virtual setting, didn't get a chance to ask a lot of questions, but tomorrow or today, I get to sit down with a rep from Cobra, learn more about the Rad Speed and the one length irons as well. But let's take a look at the driver in particular, what we learned today. And so I'm gonna pop some photos up of it, but also I'm gonna refer down to my notebook, so don't mind me if I look down. We've seen the Rad Speed. We know it's coming out in 3 different models. The Rad Speed XB, and the Rad Speed XD. So let's compare it to the current Speed Zone that's out there. The Rad Speed is the same as the regular Speed Zone in terms of ideas and concepts. The XB is similar to the Rad Speed Extreme, or the Speed Zone Extreme, excuse me. And the XD is actually set up for a draw basis. So with these drivers, what Cobra has done is really made an attempt to lower that center of gravity even further. And I don't want to say they bashed other brands, but during the event, they did talk about some of the other brands out there, where their centers of gravity are, and how Cobra has positioned theirs so much differently. Now, again, the Rad Speed comes with the infinity face, the milled face that we saw in the Speed Zone. They've upgraded the carbon fiber top to make it even lighter. They've added more weight to balance it out, and they've distributed the weight differently based on the different models. So just the basic Rad Speed, you have the ability to actually have it set up for a lower ball flight if you need it, a higher ball flight. You can set it into a draw setting, into a fade setting, all on the hosel itself, but you can adjust the trajectory by moving weights around, similar to what we've seen in the Speed Zone and the F9 Speedback. Now with the XB, the Rad Speed XB, you don't have the ability to move the weight forward as much. You actually have all the weight in the back to help produce a higher launch, which in turn is gonna most likely for most players add spin to the driver and put more backspin on the ball. With the XD, all the weight's centered towards the heel of the club to produce a draw bias to help those guys that slice. Now, one of the things I thought was interesting during the event was they brought up a graphic comparing what they've done with the Rad Speed and dropping the center of gravity versus what you see in the Speed Zone. So according to their graphic, and I'm sorry, I don't have the graphic here, but what you see is even if you set your Rad Speed a degree higher in loft, so instead of a 9.5, maybe you set it to a 10.5. If you would set the Speed Zone at 9.5, you're gonna get a certain ball flight with a certain ball spin or a backspin on it. Now, if you would take the rad speed and set it a degree higher than what that speed zone would be, you're actually going to still have less backspin and you're going to get further distance. So Cobra's claiming by lowering that center of gravity on the rad speed drivers, they can give you more distance regardless of what you want or the backspin. But Cobra claims you can get more speed with it, more distance, even if it's a couple yards, in the same exact setting as the speed zones. So another company I sat down and talked to was golftrainingaids.com. And their name is exactly what it sounds, or what they do is exactly how the name is. It's a website fully dedicated to training aids. And I mean hundreds of training aids. We're talking everything from full swing training aids to putting training aids to mirrors to fitness. I mean, when you browse their website, their catalog is truly amazing. If there's a training aid in the world that you're looking for, you're going to go find it on golftrainingaids.com. I'm going to link that down below if you guys want to go check that out. But again, golftrainingaids.com. There's any training aid you could think you would ever need, go check out golftrainingaids.com. So those are the good things. Cobra, golftrainingaids.com. Let's talk about the bad things. And we're getting into something I've talked to you guys about that I want to add into my videos, that I want to add into my lessons. I want to get and upgrade my simulator setup. I want to get a better launch monitor. And no, I don't want to go and spend tens of thousands of dollars. I want to price it out. I want to find the right thing for me. And I thought, hey, I'm at the PGA show. I'm going to set up some meetings and learn about different options from some of these better known launch monitor companies. So first of all, let's talk about the bad, as in really bad, Foresight. Makers of the GC2, the GC Quad, they have the Hawk, which is an overhead system. Now, listen, I get it. My channel's still small, but I'm looking at a product. My money spends the same as everybody else. And you know what they had the guts to do? I reached out a few weeks ago to set up a meeting. I had one of their reps email me and say, hey, yeah, sounds good. Can I get your email so we can set something up? Yeah, perfect. I've never heard back. All I wanted was 15 minutes of your time to check out the GC2 and the GC Quad. That's all I wanted. Foresight. I get it. I'm not a big fish in the pond. I'm still a small guy. But why would you treat me different than anybody else? I wanted to take some time, learn about your products, to potentially buy your products. And you failed me. You have no problem, and I get it. Giving some products and letting some of the bigger fish in the YouTube pond swim around with your products. I get it. It doesn't bother me, but at least give me the courtesy to take the time to explain the product to me. So Foresight, that was a fail on your part. Maybe down the line, I don't know, but you burned me. You left me hanging. You didn't even get back to me and say, sorry, we can't make time for you. You just left me out there on the loop. Which takes me to another company. And this one, I don't know if I should consider it worse than what Foresight did, or at least maybe give them some partial credit. We're talking FlightScope. And in particular, because of what my budget may be when it comes time to buy, I wanted to check out the Mevo Plus. I've heard a lot of great things about the Mevo Plus. I've seen a lot of great things with it. And the best part is the pricing is the same as the SkyTrack. It's about $2,000. So for what I'm doing and what I want to do, that could be a very viable option. So again, a week and a half ago, I reached out and set up a meeting with Tyler, their marketing manager. And he confirmed the meeting. So he at least got back to me and confirmed the meeting, which was scheduled for today. Well, yesterday or a couple days ago, he asked if I could reschedule the meeting for a little bit later in the day, which I had to move some things around. I had a day full of meetings planned, but I wanted to really sit down and learn about the Mevo Plus. So I moved some of those meetings around so I could make time to learn about the product, something that I'm really, really interested in. And So we reserved the time. I'm sitting there today, holding off lunch. It was a 1 o'clock meeting, and I'm sitting in the room. It's a virtual waiting room, waiting by myself. 5 minutes goes by, 10 minutes goes by, and finally, I'm just like, he ain't coming. So I hop out of the room, I send him a message, no response. Well, getting ready to jump into another meeting, and now I get a message from Tyler. Hey, are you available now? Well, I had said in my previous message that I was booked. I had a meeting at 2:30 and I wouldn't be available till 4. So I said, you know what? I can try and move some things around. Talking to myself, I said, you know what? Yeah, I'm available now. Send me an invite to the meeting. Invite never came. I sat there. And so finally I said, you know what? I'm going into my other meetings. While I'm in my other meeting, I get another message from Tyler. It says, hey, sorry I missed you. Are you available tomorrow? Well, I've got the rest of my week planned. I moved everything from Tuesday back later in the week so I could meet with FlightScope and learn about the Mevo Plus. Again, I felt like I was getting the runaround. And I'm a guy that has a pretty good gut instinct, I like to think, about people. And just the way it was being handled. I mean, if he couldn't make the 1 o'clock, at least shoot me a message and say, hey, Craig, I'm sorry, I need to reschedule again. That's fine. But you left me sitting in a room, waiting to hear about a product I may potentially buy. Now, I get it. Again, I'm a small fish, but my gut tells me is he moved it so he could deal with some bigger fish. And that just rubs me the wrong way. I mean, I give you guys my honest feedback on products. I'm not saying that I can sell them 15, 20, 50 Mevo Plus units, but I also know that my reviews can help you guys make that purchase, and maybe I sell or help them sell 7, 8 of them to help you guys out. But I felt like I was being pushed around and dragged around. So after he emailed me back, I said, Tyler, listen, I understand it's a busy time. It's different. We're virtual, but we had a meeting. I feel like I'm being pushed around. So never did learn about the Mevo Plus. And I'm not going to. Unless they come at me and say, hey, Craig, we apologize. We're sorry. We should have handled it better. Listen, I'm a businessman too. Not only do I have the golf side, I have a business outside of it. I don't treat my customers or potential clients like that. And I don't expect to be treated like that. I don't care how big your company is. So I'm getting into the frustration. I'm getting frustrated because now I'm seeing some of these big companies think that I'm not worth their time. That maybe 5, 10 units of my promotion, even if I buy it, maybe 5, 10 units isn't worth their time. I'm not worth their time. And that's okay, because you know what? I'm going to continue to grow the channel. I'm going to keep working on the channel. And in 2, 3 years, you guys might come knocking. Guess what? Foresight, FlightScope. I'm going to remember this. I already have other companies that are welcoming me with open arms to test out their products to see if it's going to fit what I want it to do. They're gracious. They understand what I'm trying to do. I don't like being pushed around. I don't like being pulled in different directions, and I definitely don't like being left out in the dark and not even hearing anything. So I guess I didn't expect that at the PGA show. This being my first time, I didn't expect to kind of be pushed aside and brushed aside. I thought I'd at least get the chance to hear about everything, but apparently I was wrong. But let's move on, all right? Enough crying, whining, even though I'm not crying and whining. I just want you guys to know the honest truth about how my experience is going, how some of these companies are treating me. So the good Cobra, the Rad Speed driver, learned a lot, excited for it. Hopefully be able to get to test that here sometime in the future. The golftrainingaids.com, go check them out. Great company. They were some great guys to talk to. On tomorrow's calendar, which is today, as you're watching this, I've got a meeting with about 6 different companies. I'm busy. I'm going to be talking the Cobra Rad Speed 1-length irons with their VP of club development. So the guy who knows the ins and outs of the Cobra Rad Speed 1-length irons, I have a meeting with tomorrow. And I'm going to ask a little bit more about the fairway woods and the driver as well, but I'm really looking forward to that one. I will probably dedicate a whole video to that. But on top of that, I have some other small companies that are great. And if you guys haven't done so yet, the guys from TalTag that I talked about in yesterday's video, they reached back out to me today. They thanked me for my video review for their product, what I learned about the company, and they are sending me one to test out and do a full review on. And again, you can still go get one of their products and take 10% off. So go to taltag.com. You can select your bag tag / towel holder. You can customize it, design it. And when you go to check out, use the code #throw in the towel. I'll put it down in the description again for you guys, but take advantage of that. Craig and the guys up at TalTag are awesome. Really great product. I'm really stoked about it. I don't use that word very often, but excited to check that out. Excited I've got one on the way, and I want you guys to go check it out as well. I think it's a cool product that I'm going to say I will be recommending just from the sheer genius of the product. The way you can easily get your towel in and off your bag. Go check those guys out. Again, the promo code #throw in the towel. Use that. And as I said, a busy day tomorrow, maybe 2 videos based on my meetings and how they go. Other than that, guys, don't forget to subscribe so you can be notified, or hit the notifications bell so you can be notified when I release more of the PGA videos. Don't forget, go check out singlelengthschool.com. You can sign up for our on-demand lesson packages. And always check out our social media channels, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, and Twitter. So check those out, guys. Glad I could bring this to you. More great content tomorrow. And until then, have a great day.